Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. One-time payment. So that's a little life hack there.
Can you use a gift card for activation?
Yep.
You can? You hear that, y'all? We should use a gift card for cards.
Yeah, like a Visa prepaid card.
That's hilarious.
It's just a one-time run. But it has state tax in it. So like if it's a $200 gift card, it'll come out at like $210 or something. Zach, what are you thinking about?
Alright, I got y'all with this is a Bible verse.
Oh, let's go, Zach.
This was actually my verse of the day yesterday. It's a perfect timing. A truly wise person uses few words. A person with understanding is even-tempered. Even fools are thought wise when they keep silence. With their mouths shut, they seem intelligent. Proverbs 17:27.
What does that mean?
So, what I got of it is that a dummy can't sound smart, but at least if he doesn't say anything, he can act smart. So, if you are smart, if you are intelligent, you don't have to say a ton of words. So, I think that, stop running your mouth.
Don't run your mouth. Let's go. Good thought. Good thought.
Hey, that was
Great.
I'm thankful for the weather's been nice lately. I feel like we've been blessed with the weather lately.
Yeah.
I'm also thankful for Mike, Caleb, Nate,
Thank you, Grady.
all y'all training me,
Appreciate it.
getting all of us right. You know, keep pushing us and keep going, even when it's hard.
And when you don't show up,
Dude, Caleb, thanks for being here.
Yeah. There's a lot of moments
We
to
still
Oh,
push
trust
up.
me, I will. Still waiting.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it shows when you guys don't show up.
Alex, you got the pitch.
Let's go, Al.
Who's gonna be custody? Do you want Bess or Amy as custody? You want Bess?
No.
Yeah, Bess.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna be the custody. Just for
Yeah, you can't hold it.
There you go.
Ow! Ow, ow, ow!
Lots of pressure.
Housekeeping.
How's it going? Are you the boss of the house here, the queen of this castle?
Who wants to know?
I've just been working with a couple of the neighbors. Real quick, you probably know Mr. Zach down the street.
Yeah.
You guys
Is
probably
that-
know.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
He's real nice. I just got finished working with him. The reason I'm out in your neighborhood, I'm probably sure you've probably seen us around the neighborhood with all the
I have.
AT vans. We're just trying to get our signs out. We had a lot of calls in the area just due to some of the change in the area. You guys probably been here for a while, probably seen that. I'm not preaching to you with all that.
Sure.
So with that, we've had a lot of calls for security in the area just due to some of the change going on, for lack of a better term. We want to pay for 2 houses to get our sign out, so that when neighbors they look for security, they're calling us, not the companies. If you put our sign out, we use the money we use on a billboard or a commercial, and we actually get to invest into the home. We get to pay for a camera. I know you've been looking into it, but change. Right here, if you look, we would pay for an outright camera. That usually goes over the cars. If you want to follow me, I'll show you where that goes right here. If you want to take a step right here, I'll show you how. So we'll put it right here. It'll show over the cars right here. And then what you would do is if you have like an iPhone or like a Samsung or
No, we got a flip phone.
flip phone, okay, so this is cool to get you the ringer note. Like usually you can get a Hub Max and you can have it on a, kind of like an old school monitor.
Okay.
The coolest thing though is your neighbors above be able to talk back and forth, so they can like talk to the dog, talk to the mailman, stuff like that.
Alright.
You don't have to worry about any car break-ins. Cameras are cool, I can talk on all
No
day
other
about it.
bar break-ins?
So there were a couple over there right by his, you know where Zach is, he actually had one.
Oh,
So that's actually the biggest reason we got him set up.
Okay.
And so obviously with all the change, there's been a lot of rentals and new homeowners in the area. When they move into the area, the first thing we look into is security, right? So we can pay for as many cameras as you want, right? At the end of the day, the cameras won't be able to protect what's most important to you, which is your house and your family.
Right.
So we do pay for the alarm itself, which makes sure you have peace of mind. You go sleep better at night. You go on vacation, you don't have to worry about what's going on at the house, right? We take care of money and time hassle. You don't worry about it in the future. When do you think somebody gets security, right? As a reactive after something happened, right?
Right.
So we help you make the proactive decision. I can show you how this works. I'm guessing how you ever used them before in the past. So I can show you how this works. Do you have a place you can set this down? Do you want to take my shoes
Yeah,
off?
right
or-
there on mine.
Wow, you're swinging today. I was swinging today.
That was a
That's a 4 feet out.
Yeah, that's 4 feet out.
That's 4 feet out. He said 4 feet out.
Got some special guests
guests today. Maddie, Johnny's family. We already met Johnny's mom, Maddie's mom, and then Elias is here today.
Let's go.
He's gonna be your next pile.
10 years.
Yeah, 400 account rep. P's and C's, what do you got, Carbo?
That was on the spot. I walked in like halfway through the pitch.
Oh, sorry.
The energy was really good. Very confident. And then just kind of like directed the sale, kind of moved it along. I feel like a lot of people, you get stuck in just being there on the door, and then you feel that tension. The customer feels that too. A good way to break that is just to get people moving around. Even if you're just going out to look at the camera, looking at the doorbell, just get someone moving around, and then it just kind of like breaks the tension.
Do you use your iPad a lot when you pitch?
Not really. No.
Yeah, I would say
Use our
that.
hands.
Hands are good. I would use the slicks, they're pretty money, because it helps the customer visualize. You're really good at articulating and painting the picture, but if they're not like listening to you, because I knew what you were saying, so I could see the picture, but if you can show the slicks, it'll help the customer, I think.
Yeah, paint the picture in there.
Because they're not looking at you and judging you if they're constantly looking at your
I
iPad.
would have thrown in a couple extra questions too. Like you didn't know her name, you didn't know how long she'd been there. Like you did really good by like the energy. She was comfortable with you after like the first couple minutes. I would have just broken up the pitch a little bit. And then a lot of times if you get to know her, what she does for work, that kind of stuff, you can help find the hot buttons. But
You know, like a discount close or like some, if you got the occupation. What do you have, Heather?
I was just gonna say I'd ask questions like Mike said so you can slow it down, because I feel like anytime she was trying to respond to you, you kind of cut her off trying to continue through your pitch to like move it along. Just like slow it down so whenever she starts talking she feels like she has like a segment to her. And then whenever she's finished speaking then you can go back into it. That way like I felt like you're kind of like rushing through it, and it's just because it's not because like everything you said was perfect. I'd just slow it down. It'd make your voice inflection sound way better. Like the lines you're saying are perfect. Just they hit harder, and then she'd feel like she has part of the conversation.
yeah. And yeah, I'm running into that right now too because I want to sell so bad because I haven't sold in like it feels like 1 million doors. So I'm just like I'm gonna pitch as fast as I can. Like. But then I'm skipping my process, I'm not finding my hot buttons, and like, it has an opposite effect, right? So just make sure that you're through that you keep asking your question, then you reset in between every door, so. And you get nervous, you have a bad interaction, like, nope, just reset, I gotta take this person through the process, because they've never heard your pitch before, right? It's a fresh door, so.
I lost one the other day because I was the opposite, I was overconfident. And I didn't transition and pitched the wife because he told me he was the decision maker. And then, like, I had him sold, and then evidently the wife's grandma had ADT and had a bad experience or something. And the wife liked me and liked the product, but then the grandma called her, like, as I was pitching the husband, and she was like, I should have done the process and sat down, we got them both together. So we're going to go through probably another 5 questions, we'll see how quick we can slam them out. Mike P, what is a one-liner that you've been using on the doors that's been really good? And what's a question that you have?
So something I've been using that's like works like 50% of the time. So like I'll say it differently whether it's an old person or like a young person, but if they're old and they're like, oh yeah, somebody's always here, I'll just be like, obviously, it's a horrible hypothetical to have, but would you rather somebody break in while you're here or while you weren't? But if they're younger, I'll just say it a little more blunt. I'll just be like, yeah, they're gonna break into the house whether you're here or not. It's just the fact that you can have something to protect you.
Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty ballsy line. That's good. Are you saying that in the house or out of the house?
In the house.
Nice. Money line. Good job. What's a question you're running into? Or thing that you're struggling with at the moment?
I mean, I guess something I'm just struggling with would be like, obviously I know like in this situation it's just like next door type of thing, but like this guy had ADT, he got his whole house ransacked, and like I couldn't say enough things about like new ADT to like get him to, I don't know, like to get him to try it again.
Had an old system, didn't work.
Yeah, he had like one of the old landline systems and somebody ran through his whole house, and obviously that wouldn't happen with the new one, but I just did, like, what would you say to like give him confidence?
Yeah, I mean, so that's a really good question. So basically the situation that you had was there was someone who had a bad previous experience with ADT. So Chase, that first day you shadowed me, what was that deal that we got?
Give him like 4 smoke detectors.
No, but what did they say?
What do you say?
Yes, I did. In relation to Mike P's question.
They hated ADT.
Okay, there we go. Nice. So they didn't come here. All right, I'll be chased. They came out of the door and started cussing me out because ADT scammed them and they hated ADT. They said they were never going to get ADT again. What did we do to get them signed up?
Name a bunch of equipment.
You just like.
I charged them for it. No, you got to listen. And you just have to be a soundboard. If they're gonna slam the door, okay, next door. But like, I had another one like that, the lady that owed ADT $5,000. But yeah, so I just listened to her. I was like, okay, what happens? And like, listened, and you just have to ask questions. That's terrible. Let me call my boss. Okay, let's see what I can do about this, and just listen. And genuinely, it's like user error half the time. Like, they didn't own the system. They never tested it. They didn't get a permit. There's like a bunch of issues that could happen. So just listen, and then like basically just pitch it. And the reason that they're getting everything paid for is because they had a bad experience. And say, hey, we'd love to make it up to you. Obviously, we're out here for word of mouth. We don't want negative word of mouth. Can you keep a secret? Okay, cool. If you can help me out with the sign, we'll just cover all the upfronts and get this in for $0. We'll let you try it, see if you like it. We want to rectify the situation. If we did pay for it, what is something you've looked at doing so we could make things right? And then, like, that's what we can do. Like, if they're gonna say no, never doing it again, like I had a guy got like messed over by North Star and never wanted to do security again. So I respected it and I said, okay.
Do a ton of y'all know what landlines are or how they work?
It's a phone line.
Do y'all know how they work?
Like a home phone, you can cut
So
it.
like, that was like, if you ever run into that again, I was talking to somebody about that the other day, but it was great. So like, landlines,
It was me.
a bunch of y'all don't remember that, but like,
me.
2 people couldn't talk on the phone at once.
Mhm.
And if your alarm system is through a landline, and it's trying to call somebody out to send somebody, it can't call you, it can't call anyone to do anything, because it's going off trying to send signals. So like, that was like the biggest flaw in those landline
And you
systems.
can cut them too. So
Yeah,
like,
you can
when
cut
I
it.
was working
You can
together, they
cut
had a
it.
few houses that didn't like ADT because they got broken into, but it's because they cut the landline and then they busted them in. So yeah, that's why they're cellular. Mike P, what's your shirt size?
Small.
Alright, got it.
Small.
Matt, what's your one-liner?
Small.
I'll probably give just a
What's it
basic
feel like?
advertising pitch. If I feel like some sales resistance, so they just don't like feel like they're being sold something, I'll just close it out with like, yeah. And I'm sure you know if you call another security company up on your own, you're gonna have to pay them like $200 just for you to tell them what you like. I mean, I'll do a free consultation right now for like 5 minutes, so at least you know what you like and how much you'd be paying. You just save a little bit of money. Kind of raise the tension there.
Money. That's money. Okay, so repeat that line. So you're getting some sales resistance, and they're like, oh yeah, we need to do research. Oh yeah, this, that, the other. They're kind of like trying to pull out of the interaction. And then what's your line? Say it again. So, oh yeah, Matt. No, we've looked at it, but I don't think this is the right time. Or we'll call you when we're ready. Or
Yeah, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm sure you know if you call another security company up on your own, they're gonna charge you $200 just for them to come out here and for you to tell them what you like. I'll do it for you right now in like 5 minutes. So at least you know what you'd be looking for and how much you'd be paying.
nice, so good. And then you're transitioning to the house. You have a chance to build the value, build it out, and then you can price drop. And then once you price drop, you make it a no-brainer. So that's fine. And that's why that's it. So like, yeah, you're getting further through the sale. So like, you could just throw out a super blunt Hail Mary that makes you feel good. Like, oh yeah, fine, you can call, pay for it later, and then leave. And then you miss the whole sale. Do you know what I mean? It's like no one's gonna buy off of that one liner, Like you just slapped them in the face and wanted to feel good about yourself because you had people rude to you, and then you basically just threw away the sale so you could feel good. But like Matt is trying to like get through the sale and keep it breathing, and like I imagine your goal is to get into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why you're selling. That's the money. What's something you're running into?
Oh, it was kind of people who've had previous bad experiences with ADT, but
Okay.
you already touched on that. So it'd probably be someone who isn't in a home,
Okay.
right? Or let's just say they're a rental or whatever.
Okay.
And they're just like, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know how long I'm gonna be here for. This is something I'd like to do in my house, like when I move into one. But this isn't something I want to get started right now.
Yeah. You got to be a little careful with that. Obviously, I usually just ask them how long's your lease for, and they say if it's anything less than 6 months, I would probably avoid it. and you have to judge your homeowner too. But obviously you have to finance, and if you finance, if it goes bad, you're not getting charged back. So I would just get into qualification as soon as possible, and just say, okay, would you find benefit in doing this here? And the 3 questions you kind of want to ask is like, is the landlord okay? Are they going to pay their bill, and do they qualify for financing? And if all of those are green, then just send it, yeah?
One thing I'd say is download Landglide, and then you can kind of like, just for like the street, when you're on the street, you can see which homes are owned, and you can see which ones are LLCs. So then that way, when you know you're going to a renter's door, you're going to
You can pitch them like a rental.
right? So then you can bring up the, oh, well, what if I move? You bring up that objection before they do. We have a moving program. So then that way, when you do move, you can take everything with you to your new house for free.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
I
a
know you need
nice,
to talk about financing, so then you know, hey, we don't pay for the equipment, we pay for the upfront costs.
all the upfronts. And it's like, if someone refers you to the renter house, say, hey, yeah, what's going on? You guys must be the new renters here. We're actually doing a wireless program, because we know like the landlord isn't going to pay for your stuff if someone steals it. So obviously you want to protect your home and your family while you're here, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just show you, see if you like it. And I use Matt's kind of line, like, yeah, I'll just show you so that you have an idea of how it works.
Quick question, everything's wireless, but if they got a front doorbell camera, they'd have to screw some sort of something in.
I mean, like, it's like 2 screws. You can like put a little bit of putty over it when they're done.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Like,
thrown out and
did you hang a picture in your house? Okay, cool. It's the same thing, dude. Like, it's,
Okay.
yeah, all of the sensors are wireless. We're not ripping up the wall to run wires into a big can in their closet or whatever. So the security system is wireless, and if they really do not want a panel up on the wall, then you can, there's a wireless option for the panel too, but that's like a last resort. Oh, and I found out the other day, by the way, we actually stock Google Hubs as well as Google Hub Maxes. So the techs have those. So.
What's the
How
difference?
many points?
I think it's 2 or 3. The Hub Max has a camera, and it's a little bit more substantial, has a speaker. The Google Hub's a little smaller, and it still has a speaker, but no camera. So if you don't want to like eat a bunch of points, no. If you just don't want to eat a bunch of points, if you're doing a regular ADT, but they really want to see the doorbell camera, just give them a Google Hub, not a Hub Max. Yeah.
They can watch their cameras.
Yeah.
Talk to it and everything.
What's your shirt size, man?
Large.
Large. That's a shirt size.
Colton, man.
You got yours?
What's your one-liner, man? No, that's forward to Colton.
This is something I think Lamont said like a while back, but whenever somebody comes out and they're just like, hey, I'm not interested, just, that's okay, you can probably help me out. And then you just pitch them like normal.
Nice.
It probably 7 times out of 10 that works.
Okay. So someone comes out straight out the door, hey, not interested, and then you say,
Yeah, no, that's fine, I totally get it. You can probably help me out though. And then
Nice.
just be like, I'm working with a couple of your neighbors, we're here paying for some advertising homes.
perfect. Yeah, agree. The formula is always the same. Agree, overcome, transition.
Yep.
So yeah, that's totally fine. Like, you know, overcome, hey, maybe you could help me out, transition, pitch. So yeah, that's perfect. What are you running into?
There was a guy last week who, in the house, did the walkthrough, built all the, showed him where everything's gonna go. He was pretty on board from what I understood, but we like dropped price and just basically was like, he was a pastor or whatever, and he was like, this is gonna sound weird, but I need 7 days to pray and think about it. And I'm like, okay, alright. And I tried to,
Objection to overcome.
I know, yeah, I can't really, yeah, I'm like,
The prayer objection.
Just do one of these and bow your head. Yeah,
I'm sure God's about to
Hey.
He's gonna love
So there is actually some genuine like things you can overcome here. Okay, look.
I got one. I usually say, yeah, no, and that's exactly why I'm here. I've been praying about it too. And stop by here.
Stop by here. In Spanish to it, Caleb. It's a little bit tough. Like sometimes you have to call a bluff for a bluff. You know what I mean? You just have to say like, hey, like you told me you had been thinking about this, and that's where a tie down is really, really important. It's like in the pitch when you're doing the walkthrough, like, yeah, I'm sure you guys have thought about this, or I'm sure it's been on your mind, or and then they say yes. So when he brings up, yeah, I need to pray about it, it's like, well, you already have been, man. You've already been thinking about it. Like, what else do you need to think? Now, if you need to pray about it, there's probably a question that you have, and I don't know if God's going to answer it directly, but I'm here to help you out. So like, if there is a question that you need or some information for you to mull over, I'm happy to help you out. Come back in 2 weeks. Over the next couple of weeks, what sort of questions can I like help you out with so that I can point in the right direction? If he feels like I'm not going to close him there and then, he's going to open up and he's going to tell me what his actual problem is, and then I want to close him there and then. 100%. So yeah, that's fine. I can come back in 2 weeks, man. Over the next couple of weeks, when I get back with you, what sort of things could I point you in the right direction, or what information could I help you out with? And then shut up. And then he tells you, and you're okay, yeah, perfect. We can get that taken care of. Yeah, and what time do you want the technician to come by today? And like 9 times out of 10, like they just wanted to make sure that they felt listened and heard to, and then they didn't really have an objection. Like, yeah, I saw this solo guy, same thing. Like I watched this Instagram thing, guy came out, yeah, not right now, man, not interested. And like 30 seconds later, he was getting the bill and sitting him down, and just like had to get through just one objection, and that was it. What's your shirt size?
What kind of shirt is it?
You look class.
Michael.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Cole? Okay. Last one? Huh? Last one, Mike? Or a couple more?
Let's see, what do we got?
What is it?
Yeah, we can go a couple more.
Cam, what you got?
24.
What's your one-liner?
This is for Vivid Homes.
Oh.
So I kind of, it depends on the situation. I'll customize a little bit more. But the basic is like, I'll do a little icebreaker, and then I've been working with a few of your neighbors with Vivint, and I've been saving them a lot of money, and then I'll just go into the pitch and whatnot.
Nice.
So like, usually I'll have like a name drop or whatnot, I'll just throw that in there.
Nice. Yeah, that's really good. And then, I mean, yeah, oftentimes people who are dissatisfied with it and really frustrated by how much everything costs. So,
Yeah, and they'll usually listen to you because I'm saving them a lot of money, so they'll listen for a minute or two, you know.
absolutely. Keith's the king of Vivint switchovers.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Yeah, I'll just like, I'll be, whenever I knock on Vivint door, I'm just like straight to the point. I say, hey, look, you're doing a great job advertising for Vivint, so we know you would be a good customer.
Money.
What we want to do is pay you to keep the ADT sign out. I already know that the doorbell camera here is about 4 or 5 years old now. Not saying, and I try my best to not crap on Vivint at all, because that just will build a resistance to you. You're like, oh, well, Vivint lies to people and they do 5-year contracts and their equipment sucks. Like, people are just gonna be like, oh, shut up and go away.
Because they bought that. They signed up for it. So if you tell them that the thing sucks, and that you're kind of saying that they made a dumb decision.
Right.
So,
So I say, look, I do this every time I go. Not saying anything's wrong with Vivint. I think they're a great company. Obviously, just with the way technology works, it gets better over time. What we want to do is we'll pay for all of your upgrades, all of your install, all of your warranties for helping us, just so that way people can see what we have to offer.
Right.
And most of the time when I work with my Vivint customers, we actually get to save a good bit of money too.
Great.
And then,
Stupid smooth.
yeah, and then they usually just, they'll hear you out. And I always tell them this, because this is true. So if they go and upgrade with Vivint, not only do they have to buy their new cameras, they have to sign on most of the time for another 5 years because they're financing.
Even if their monitoring isn't re-locked in, like
Yeah.
they'll